Hi, this time I'm looking at a lovely 2-5-1 idea from Tal Farlow, taken from his solo on the jazz standard Tenderly. I'm going to play it through a couple of times, then I'll show you how to play it, and we'll discuss why it works. Just before we get into the analysis, a quick reminder, if you'd like to see a transcription of this or any of my other lines and solos, you'll find a link in the description down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like and subscribe. So as I mentioned, this lovely Tal Farlow line is kind of roughly over a 2-5-1 in G. The chord sequence it's working over, it starts off actually over an A13 chord. Kind of pickup idea, which he starts on beat 3. This is all 16th notes, basically, this line. And then it goes to a C over D chord for a bar. Then the next bar, we have a beat on A minor 7. Then goes to D7 sharp 9 for the rest of the bar. And then the final bar is G major 7. So the resolution to the 1. I mentioned it's a 2-5-1 idea. Although it's C over D, we can also see that as being essentially A minor 7. So we can really see it as being a bar of A minor 7, bar of D7, D7 sharp 9, and then resolving to the G major 7. Again, starting with that pickup, that A13. What he's playing over this, as I mentioned, he's starting out with a little pickup starting on beat 3 of the A13 chord. 1 and 2 and 3. And the notes he's starting off here over the A13, starting on this B, up here on the D string, going up to the D, then across to the G string to the E, F, and F sharp, then to the A, and back to the F sharp. And this is over the A13. So these notes, there's different ways we can see them. They kind of work out as B minor pentatonic. Playing around shape 2 of B minor pentatonic. And this F we could see as being a passing note, a chromatic passing note going between the E and the F sharp. Although we could also see it as being the B minor blues scale, because that's the flat 5. Instead he slides from the F up to the F sharp. So that's one way of interpreting this. It's over the A13, so you could see this as he's moving up a whole step over the A13 and playing the minor pentatonic, so B minor pentatonic over A13. So that's one way of looking at it. But another way we could look at this is him maybe suggesting G and D7. So these notes, the B and the D, you could see that as being a G major triad, the 3rd and the 5th. And then we could think of G major pentatonic, E minor pentatonic. And then moving up to the 3rd and the 5th on the D7. So and I suggest that because also the next notes he plays, he goes straight up a G major triad. So, you know, that would kind of fit with this idea of moving from G to D7 to G. But as is always the case with jazz, there's different interpretations you can put on it. So, as I mentioned, then he goes into this G major triad. So going from the G to the B to the D to this high G. right up here on the 15th fret in the top E string. So he's hitting this G as the chord switches to C over D. So, it's kind of the one chord if we're thinking of C over D, D7, A minor 7, D7, G major. He's kind of outlining the one chord, the G. Then he pulls off to the E, then goes to the C on the B string, then skips down to this E, down a minor 6th, flat 6 to this E, and then back to the G. Really nice intervallic idea, and these notes, they're all from an A minor 7 arpeggio. Just rearranging the order. It's a lovely little intervallic idea, this. And so we're over C over D, but as I mentioned, you could also see that as being an A minor 7th chord. C over D, you can see that as being A minor 7 over D. We could see it as the bass note staying the same over the 2 and the 5 chords. So yeah, if we're thinking of this in terms of a 2-5-1, he's very much outlining the 2 chord, the A minor 7. Then goes up to the B, pulls off from A to G, and down to F sharp, then moves down chromatically from this E, on the D string, all the way down to this C. And these notes, we mentioned the A minor 7 arpeggio, but then this is all A Dorian. We're just throwing in a couple of chromatic passing notes. So from the E to the D, we've got an E flat, chromatic passing note, and then from the D to the C, we've got another chromatic passing note. But yeah, it's essentially Dorian just with some chromaticism thrown in. And then this C, that's the minor 3rd of the A minor 7. And he takes a breath there as a 16th note rest. Then goes from E to G, little position shift, to position shift from here, down to here. E, G, A, B, back to the A, then to the G. So again, I'd suggest he's still playing around A minor 7 here. You could see this as being A minor pentatonic with the 9th added, or A minor 7 arpeggio with the 9th added. That'd be the B. You could also see it as being E minor pentatonic. It's a substitution idea, E minor pentatonic over A. Either way, he's still, say at this point, playing over A minor 7. And then on beat 2, the chord actually shifts to D7 sharp 9. So then we get the notes D, C, B flat, F, then ending on the G. This is over beats 3 and 4 of the D7 sharp 9 chord, resolving to the G major as we get to that G, final G. And these notes, he's playing each of them twice. And the notes themselves, they come from G minor pentatonic. Although we're up here around shape 3. So we could see this as just like a little bluesy kind of anticipated resolution. So kind of moving to the G a couple of beats early and just playing G minor pentatonic. See, we could see this as just like a bluesy kind of G major idea, which is, I guess, the obvious way to look at it. But we could also, if we look at what these notes are against the D7 chord, the D is the root, obviously enough, then the C is the flat seventh, B flat or the A sharp, that's the sharp 5 against the D7, and then the F or the E sharp is a sharp 9 against the D7. So again, we've got the root, the flat 7, the sharp 5 and the sharp 9. So basically it's kind of outlying D7 and alterations on D7. So as well as being a bluesy idea on G, we could very much see it as being kind of a de-altered idea. This idea of over the 5 chord moving down a fifth and playing the minor pentatonic. So yeah, again, there's a couple of different ways to see it. We could see it as just him being bluesy, or actually him being kind of quite clever with a substitution idea over this D7. Either way, it sounds good, and that's the most important thing. And it resolves very neatly to G as he lands on the root note of G as the chord switches to G major, right at the end of this line. So let's try putting all of this together slowly. 1 and 2 and... That's pretty much it from me, but if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'll be back soon with more videos, but to close, I'm going to play this at half speed with a backing track, then a couple of times back up to tempo to finish.